Hey everybody, Scott Cole with Cole Financial Planning. Wanted to drop a quick video with you because it's a weird time. We're eating out. You eating out much lately? We're eating out again. That's kind of weird. We had a big inflation number. That's kind of weird. It's been a long time since we've had inflation. Now, the headlines, of course, as we've talked about before, tend to be a little alarmist. The notification on my phone this week said, this is the highest inflation since the Great Recession. Look, I'm not arguing with the numbers, but I am going to argue for some context. And headlines don't provide context. And most of us are too busy or too lazy to look into the context. So I'm going to drop this video and talk about what this inflation number might mean to you and what you may or may not need to do with regards to your portfolio. So before you start to worry about inflation and how it might affect your investments, let's look at a little bit closer to the facts behind the headlines. First, what exactly is inflation? Well, it may sound like a cause for panic, but inflation simply refers to the gradual rise in prices over time, meaning the dollars that you have today do not stretch as far as they will tomorrow. This happens because when there's more demand than supply, prices go up. And when an external event, like a natural disaster or let's say a pandemic, happens, it makes it harder for companies to produce enough to keep up with consumer demand, and so they raise their prices or they price gouge, resulting in inflation. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. Stable, predictable inflation is actually considered a good sign for a growing economy. Now, why is inflation rising? Inflation is rising because prices are increasing faster than usual. But it's helpful to know, guys, that the most measures of inflation compare what's happening now with what was happening a year ago. And at this time, a year ago, the economy was shut down because of COVID. So it's always going to be distorted. Inflation is going to be distorted for a while when we look back and compare to what we were doing a year ago. We're eating out again. Third, what do you need to do about it? Well, it's going to depend on how long it sticks around. Most economists are saying that inflation is going to be there for the short term, but it's not going to affect the economy as much as it has in the past. You don't ever need to base anything off of what economic forecasts say because they're terrible at it. It's also helpful to remember that the Fed is keeping an eye on it, and they have two mandates: keep inflation down and keep employment low. So if the Fed thinks that the inflation is slipping away from them, then they'll take action. And if they take action, that will mean rates will go up. Interest rates will go up. And guess what? When that happens, you won't be getting notifications about inflation anymore. You'll be getting crazy notifications about, oh, this is the highest rate increase since whenever. Here's the thing. Don't panic. And don't make knee-jerk reactions to your plan. If inflation is short-term and you make big moves in your portfolio to hedge against longer-term inflation, then you're going to regret that decision. Trust me. If, however, inflation is here to stay for a little bit and we need to address your plan and look at what it means for your longer-term retirement savings, well, then you probably need to do that. Just be aware that if you have a higher inflation, you're probably going to need to save more, and I haven't found a lot of people wanting to save more. By the way, save more. Look, I don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. We need some humility around this issue about inflation. There's way too many people speaking authoritatively and saying for certain what they think is going to happen. The fact is, we don't know. We've had loose monetary policy for a long time without any inflation. We've had lumber prices now that are through the roof. Why? I have no idea. Other than there's some demand for it. The fact is, we just don't know. Avoid making big changes. Recognize that there's not a one-size-fits-all approach to this stuff. And so the headlines can't guide you. You need to make decisions based on your circumstance, not what everybody else is doing. There's way too many people circling around this inflation conversation that have vested interest in getting you to make a reaction. It's classic Wall Street stuff. Okay? You work with your planner. Hopefully someone that's not selling you stuff. And if you need someone, I know someone. but work with your planner to adjust your goals, to look at your portfolio and figure out what are some prudent steps to get you to where you need to be. Anyhow, it's a crazy time. Enjoy it. Remember, as we always talk about, you focus on the things that matter that you can control. Don't worry about the things that you can't control. Call us when you need us. Thanks for watching, and do all that stuff they tell you to do at all these videos. Like, subscribe, comment, share. We appreciate it. Have a great day.